Hello and welcome to our program today, Women and Leadership. With me is Esther OKETCH, an Executive Director for KEFIADO. And on my right is Honorable Sally OKUDO, MCA Central Seme. And to my further right is George Collins OWUOR, the Executive Director for T.E.A.M. When people talk about the two-third gender rule, they always think about representation to the National Assembly, MPs, senators, governors, and all those things. What's your take on this?
I think that's where we go wrong, that anytime people talk about two-thirds gender, then the conversation is supposed to be at the higher level. Leadership, as enshrined in Article 27 of the Constitution, tells us that we are not supposed to discriminate anyone. So whether it is a cattle dip chairperson, whether it is a school setup, it doesn't matter what that is. What is there is that as citizens of this country, we have an opportunity to express our leadership at whatever level.
Now, though there have been advocacy of women for such a long time, women have not taken. We can say that women have not taken the challenge to face this and take this opportunity being given to them.
The socialization processes within our own traditional spaces ensure that women have always been in the back foot from the time you're born. So it means that getting into that space where you challenge even your old structure or your old cultural practice has been the challenge which women have been facing. So unless we are also talking to our traditional structures to then create spaces for freedom and engagement and giving power to women and girl children, then if you change those social structures, then they will not be sitting, taking a back foot.
The only reason why I feel there are times when men overshadow women is just because men come out as very combative. And women are more subtle in a lot of things that they do. And again, especially when it's politics, then I think it's a misconception that a lot of people have that if you're a woman in politics, then you have to be combative. But naturally, women are created different from men. And I think the more, if we can appreciate women in leadership positions and more so in politics.
Article 1 says executive authority of the Republic of Kenya is vested in the people. So the narrative beyond saying that women have been given or it's like they are being appreciated, that is the kind of thing that is not making us move anywhere. Look at even the first world countries. Theresa May, that is a woman running a whole superpower. But nobody wants to celebrate this. I mean, look at even Martha Karua. And even Honorable Sally OKUDO here, she was elected as a woman regardless of this kind of a conversation. So it's not a question of being given a space. And I would not advocate for a woman to be given a space. Grab it, take it, and see, Easter is here, Sally is here, and we are moving with it.
Now, you have given good example about women in leadership, but still yet, the issue of two-third gender rules is still an elusive issue. What can you say about that, Esther?
The two-thirds gender rule is because we are still steeped in certain issues which in patriarchal in nature, which believe women's place in leadership is at a different level. But that is only within the national level in politics. In other spaces, we have seen progressive implementation of the two-thirds gender rule. It means that if it's being implemented in certain places, the national government should actually step up and implement what is in the law. In county governments, in boards, in different spaces it's being implemented. National government then needs to step up.
And again, we might not say that the women are also not contributing towards ensuring that this two-thirds gender bill is not put in place. Because we know there are people who are also opposing it, who are also women. But we lost focus the moment we started equating two-thirds gender with women. Gender is not women. Gender is all of us. One of the things that some of us have done, and I'm happy that Sally OKUDO is here, is that we've come up with a strategy. We came up with a strategy of organizing the men, and we call them the male champions, to talk about the positive things the women are doing at the grassroots level. At that particular level, it was appreciated. And I know there are a lot of strides that have been made. Probably it has not been documented. So in terms of the discipline of implementation of the Constitution and recognizing the role of the institutions within this country, that is where the challenge is. So this is something that if we can unpack, then we will be able to manage the elusiveness in terms of how this bill is supposed to be.
And what are some of the strategies that can be put in place or policies to help demystify the perception behind the two-third gender rules?
One of the things is citizens organizing. And we want to organize citizens without looking at a woman or a man. That is number one. Then we have this strategy of having movement building, where we sit down and create an agenda and we say this is the agenda that is going to turn around the respect of the Constitution, which we say is constitutionalism and the rule of law. And then let's forget about this issue that now that I am a woman, You see, this is self-actualized. Now that I am a woman, I deserve to be given this. No. Now that I am a citizen, I am entitled to this. To me, those are some of the things that if we look into, then we are going to change what is happening in this country.
A lot of times when you come up with this, that it's been given, and there's nothing that you're given. You work towards achieving something. And I think if we can embrace that, then we'll be moving towards something. Number two, it will take a lot of mentoring, and it will take a lot of civic education. And again, the male champions, that has really worked.
And the socialization of also children. If we change the socialization of children and change even the curriculum in schools, which then put women at the back foot. And when you change that narrative, then no girl is expected that the girl is a monitor and the boy is a prefect, because that is when leadership is nurtured. So once we change all these processes at that level, from day zero, then we'll have a community which has changed, where people are equal and can get equal services at all levels.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for coming, Honorable Sally OKUDO, George OWUOR, and Esther OKETCH. That marks the end of our discussion today, but please follow up, comment on this, and we'll talk more.
Thank you.
Thank you.